In Polly's kitchen, we posture and flirt and laugh because honestly, we don't usually meet people this fast. We just happen to be free. It was so random, right? 4 hours ago, I messaged her on OkCupid from my desk at the office, and now she's slicing avocado for our salad. I slide out of my leather jacket and hang it on the corner of a chair. Polly is in her mid-20s, like me, and lives in a 4-bedroom unit in a converted warehouse in West Oakland. The ceiling is a distant patchwork of corrugated metal and plastic, vaulted 30 feet above our heads into the sky. Her home, like her body, is draped and wrapped in an accumulation of radical detritus. A turned-over 3-foot papier-mâché canoe, paintings rendered under the influence of mild drugs, incense, blankets, and boots still dusted with the telltale sandblast of Burning Man. I like your place, I say. I ask her where her roommates are, and she says that everyone's up north trimming. It's been really quiet, actually. She shimmies the cork out of a bottle of red wine. I lean against the island and breathe as deeply as possible, hoping she can sense how cool I am with all this alternative stuff, how familiar and hip and down and in the know, because without my leather jacket on, I'm more obviously baloney. Just another overwhelmed and undertouched suburban transplant. She hands me a glass. I take it and we pour our eyes together. To the internet. 2 clinks. The first, our glasses against one another's. The second, her lip ring's quiet tack against the rim. We tour the warehouse. It's a labyrinthine warren of courtyards, windowless concrete hallways, and confusing art. I'm not really tempted to steal any of it, she says, with a sly smile as we glide past a spray-painted bicycle tire. I mostly watch her ankles, sheathed in a pair of knit leg warmers. The wine has softened me, so I tell her about my first crush. The way she wore leg warmers just like that all the time, and how not enough people wear leg warmers anymore. Again, like the hair, she reaches for them self-consciously, tugging them up against her tights. Thanks, she said. We stop at a bookshelf full of yellowing novels and textbooks and dust. Polly kneels, pulls one out, and I shift my weight from leg to leg. Your hair is... I reach for her braid with my index finger and stroke it, tentative. Polly tenses and I flush. It's really cool, I mumble, retracting my hand and tucking it into my pocket. I remind myself for the 40,000th time since infancy that pretty girls don't always want their hair petted. Even, or perhaps in my experience, especially if it's shiny. She straightens from the bookshelf and smiles at me, though. It's luminous, forgives my awkward pass, and for an instant allows me a glimpse of the girl beneath the tattoos, her shy desire as sweet and ordinary as mine. Let's go back to my place, she says. It's cozier. We sit cross-legged on Polly's bed, flipping through a pack of playing cards, each with a nude model posing on its underside. The women lounge on furs and settees and silk bed sheets. We splay them out before us. We both have glasses of water, sipping away our wine, and my heart is thumping in wet, hysterical murmurs in my throat. Outside her bedroom window, the sky is orange from low-hanging clouds and industry. I begin, somehow, to tell her about my first kiss. She restacks the deck, one woman at a time, and listens as I recall the streetlights and the drizzly rain, the initial fear. Hey. She wedges a word into my story, sets the rubber-banded deck behind her. Can I kiss you? My ears rush with color. Of course. We knee-walk towards one another, snagging up her coverlet and kiss. Her mouth is a smoky noir of tobacco and red wine. I reach out for her face and the fine blonde hairs that frame it. They tickle my wrist. Her nails discover the nape of my neck, and I begin to moan into her mouth, and she laughs it back, and we both laugh in together on the tremendous secret of our paired, transgressive lusts. I grab her hips and squeeze, and our lips come away. She pushes me onto the bed and whips her braid back, the tiny bells in it tinkling. We peel. Polly's skin is pale. I trace the curves of her body with my hand, trembling a little because I haven't slept with that many women, really, and Polly is stretched out beside me like an idol. I curve my hand around her thigh and draw my fingers upward. I can feel you, she says. I can feel you all over. The rush of her breath at my neck as she says this does something to my hand. It makes it move a lot faster, and her hips begin to rock, and then time warps. I kneel over Polly for what is probably several minutes, but it's impossible to know with her hand inside me, fingers curling up, beckoning. I say something obvious then, like, "You're so hot," I think. My body tightens up, coiling for release, and Polly breathes again into my ear. Our fingers fly. I am aware dimly that we are about to set some kind of lesbian record for fastest sex. I don't mind. I cover her mouth with my lips and our tongues extend, frantic, clumsy, to the ends of their respective tethers. Polly presses the heel of her hand against me hard, and then pleasure ripples in 6 or 7 hot waves from the center of my body as I loosen and relax. Polly snakes her hand down between her legs while I recover. When I glance over, she smiles back, half apologetically. "I have to do this," she says, "to finish. It's just part of my thing." I lay beside her, put my lips to her neck, and tell her, "Of course, take care of yourself." I linger there, on her shoulder, feeling the blood pound and bursts up in her neck, into her brain. Her eyes are shut tight, and she dives into that other, more electric place. Her toes flex, and her free hand grabs a hank of bedsheet, and I bring my hand down to rest on her chest, inhale lungfuls of her while she softens, slowly, back into the world. In the morning, golden light reflects off the tiny hairs on Polly's chest. I tell her that it reminds me of the ocean, how the water looks as it's sucked back over the sand before the next wave. She smiles, lazy, and kisses me. Her fancy eyeliner has smudged off in the night, and she looks much younger. So innocent, I ache. She excuses herself to the bathroom. Something crazy seizes me while she's gone, a sudden, wild fear that this is it, that Polly will come back from the bathroom with her makeup on and say something about calling me that starts with, "Well." I stand and begin to dress, my heart squeezing in my chest, trying to be cool, be cool, be cool. Polly appears in the doorway in a terry cloth robe. "What are you doing?" she asks. My breath is high and shallow. I don't know. And then she does this incredible thing. She rushes to me, pushing me back onto her bed, robe fanning out over us. "Why'd you dress so fast?" she says. "I don't know," I say. "It's all I've got." I kiss her face, those cheekbones, that flat hollow behind her ear. "I thought you might want me to go." She grabs me beneath my chin, brings my lips up to her mouth, and kisses me again. It's everything. It's daybreak. It's water after weeks of thirst. "Stay a while longer," she says.
Confession. I'm never sure where things belong. In many situations, this poses a problem. And the situations are indeed many, given the amount of things that must be placed in their respective homes, nooks, crannies. For example, a person may be handed a dish by another who has just finished drying it in a stranger's kitchen, say while a raucous party is in full swing. And like a dog with a well-established, powerful nose, will place it in the correct cabinet. Not me. I'm as likely to walk that dry dish into a bedroom on the 2nd floor where the hostess is engaged in an indisputable act of infidelity with a person I'm going to assume is unknown to her until fairly recently, since she is requesting intimate acts of offering from him that he seems ill-acquainted with. She gives him lively little instructions that don't sound as if they are entirely in English, but mostly do. Such as her oft-repeated phrase, "my toe, my toe," which she almost shrieks as if she had stubbed those toes of hers. Her toes are not visible on account of her green high-top Converse sneakers, which are a fantastic touch. Perhaps she keeps them deliberately out of sight while referencing them so forcefully for a reason. It may be no accident that what she keeps encased in hipster footwear, while more or less everything else is out in the open, is her way of challenging her lover of the moment into unlocking the code of her deeper desire. And while all this is interesting enough, I am still stuck with the question of where to put the dish. You see the problem?